It happens quietly, almost imperceptibly. You wake up on a standard Monday morning with a completely full agenda. You rush frantically through your morning rituals, answer a dozen urgent emails, and attend meetings that seem to stretch endlessly. Before you even realize it, the sun has already set. You collapse heavily onto your bed, feeling entirely exhausted, yet you carry a strange, lingering emptiness inside. You ask yourself a simple, but deeply painful question. Where exactly did the day go, and did I actually accomplish anything truly meaningful for myself? We live in an ambitious era utterly obsessed productivity and rapid efficiency. We download countless digital time management applications. We read complex articles on how to optimize our morning routines down to the precise minute. We strive desperately to squeeze more small tasks into every single hour of the day. Yet, paradoxically, we feel significantly more starved for time than any human generation before us. We constantly complain to our loved ones that the days are simply too short. We tell our friends that we will finally rest, travel to new places, or pursue our true creative passions next year, or perhaps when we finally retire. We treat our personal time as it were an infinite reservoir, always assuming there will be another guaranteed tomorrow. But what if the core problem is not that our lives are objectively too short? What if the problem is entirely rooted in how carelessly we spend the precious, limited hours we have been given? Tonight, I gently invite you to pause your busy, racing mind. Let us sit quietly together right now and explore a profound philosophical text written over 2,000 years ago. It perfectly diagnoses this deep modern exhaustion. To truly understand the immense depth of this wisdom, we must look far back to the bustling, crowded streets of ancient Rome around the 1st century. Here we meet Lucius Annaeus Seneca, one of the most prominent Stoic philosophers of human history. Seneca was not a quiet, reclusive monk sitting peacefully on a remote mountain peak. He was deeply embedded in the chaotic and often dangerous heart of the massive Roman Empire. He served actively as a high-ranking statesman, a brilliant playwright, and eventually the principal tutor and advisor to the infamous Emperor Nero. He navigated a treacherous world overflowing with political assassinations, extreme material wealth, and endless societal distractions. Surrounded by the wealthy Roman aristocracy, Seneca observed a tragic and repeated human pattern. He watched powerful senators and wealthy merchants dedicate their entire waking lives to accumulating vast fortunes and empty social status. He saw them constantly postpone their own internal happiness and peace of mind for a vague future that was never guaranteed to arrive. In his brilliant moral essay, On the Shortness of Life, Seneca addresses this exact human tragedy head-on. He wrote this famous letter to a senior Roman official who was responsible for managing the city's complex grain supply. The official was completely overwhelmed, visibly exhausted by the endless administrative demands of his public office. Seneca gently but firmly shakes him awake from his slumber with a radical new perspective. He declares boldly that human life is actually long enough, and a sufficiently generous amount has been given to us for the highest possible achievements. The fundamental issue, he argues logically, is that we squander it mindlessly on useless pursuits. Sharp words echo perfectly across the centuries, cutting clearly through the relentless noise of our modern notification screens. Let us quietly unravel deeply Seneca's most powerful insights regarding our complex relationship with time. His first major observation is perhaps his most striking and uncomfortable truth. He notes clearly that we are remarkably stingy with our physical material wealth, yet incredibly, strangely generous with our personal time. If a random stranger approached you on the street and politely asked for a significant portion of your financial savings, you would immediately and firmly refuse. We fiercely protect our secure bank accounts and our locked physical homes from any perceived external threat. Yet, we inexplicably allow absolutely anyone to freely steal our most irreplaceable earthly asset. We politely sit through completely tedious, unnecessary meetings simply to maintain a good social image. We gracefully and silently entertain the endless, emotionally draining drama of casual daily acquaintances. We blindly spend our precious evening hours scrolling passively through other people's carefully curated digital lives. We silently allow our sacred time to be divided and casually stolen, simply because time is completely invisible. We cannot materially hold a single hour actively in our two hands, so we falsely and tragically believe it possesses no inherent value. Seneca's second, brilliant philosophical insight fundamentally challenges our modern human habit of perpetual postponement. We constantly and anxiously look forward to an imagined tomorrow. We falsely assume we will finally begin truly living only when our external life circumstances align perfectly. We enthusiastically tell ourselves we will spend quality present time with our families immediately after securing the next major career promotion. We boldly promise to actively explore our deep creative hobbies only when we safely reach our retirement at 60. Seneca gently but firmly warns us that casually putting things off is the greatest tragic waste of a human life. It violently snatches away the very real present moment by falsely promising us a vague, theoretical tomorrow. He humbly reminds us that fate and life are incredibly unpredictable forces. Passively waiting for the perfect future moment to arrive is entirely a fool's deeply flawed gamble. His third beautiful insight marks the profound philosophical difference between merely existing and actually being alive. Possessing white gray hair and deep facial wrinkles, he argues, only biologically proves that a person has physically existed for a long amount of time. It genuinely does not prove they have truly lived. How exactly can we actively translate this ancient Roman wisdom into our hyper-connected, overly stimulated modern lives? We can actively begin by gently conducting a very honest, quiet personal audit of our own daily schedules. I warmly invite you to take a simple piece of blank paper tonight in your room. Carefully and honestly track where your limited hours actually went during the busy past week. How much of that precious gathered time was genuinely spent on quiet activities that truly nourished your tired soul? How much was unwillingly surrendered to mindless digital scrolling, aimless future worrying, or the petty external demands of other people? The very first concrete behavioral action step is actively learning to fully embrace the incredibly liberating power of the simple word no. Saying no is not an ugly act of selfish personal cruelty towards others. It is fundamentally a necessary act of fierce, essential self-preservation. When you respectfully and gently decline a social invitation that mentally drains you, you are essentially saying a massive, incredibly powerful yes to your own extremely limited time. It is perfectly acceptable and highly recommended to actively protect your quiet evening hours with the exact same vigilance you regularly use to carefully guard your financial life savings. The second vital action plan is to forcefully and intentionally bring your wandering mental awareness fully back to the immediate, breathing present. We collectively spend vast amounts of our precious mental energy anxiously anticipating the unwritten future or heavily regretting the immutable, unchangeable past. Tomorrow morning, when the sun rises, try sitting in complete, undisturbed silence for just 10 unhurried minutes. Do not deliberately listen to any educational podcasts. Do not anxiously mentally review your long list of pending daily tasks. Just sit quietly in a chair and gently let yourself deeply feel the actual physical weight of the present moment. Carefully notice the slow, steady rhythm of your own quiet breathing. Calmly acknowledge the incredibly simple, yet exceptionally profound privilege of just actively being alive right here and right now. Ultimate philosophical goal here is definitely not to suddenly become hyper-productive or to frantically fill every remaining minute with intense, visible achievement. The delicate, much deeper goal is gracefully and simply to stop letting your beautiful, unrepeatable days slip completely and silently through your open, unaware fingers. Thank you sincerely for choosing to spend a portion of your deeply valuable time with us tonight. Time is our only truly non-renewable physical resource on this earth. You can always work hard to earn back lost money. You can eventually rebuild a suddenly broken career, but you can never, ever rewind the quiet clock to reclaim a single wasted hour. Seneca's ancient philosophical words are certainly not meant to induce sudden panic or deep, heavy regret over your unchangeable past. Rather, they are a profoundly beautiful, remarkably urgent invitation to finally wake up and start fully participating in your own unfolding life. You do not need to passively wait for a hypothetical, perfect future to begin finding internal peace, quiet meaning, and genuine daily joy. The quiet, seemingly ordinary moments you are currently rushing blindly past are the very core substance of a well-lived human life. As you slowly and peacefully drift off to sleep tonight, I sincerely hope you can consciously release the heavy, burdensome anxieties of tomorrow. I hope you gently forgive yourself for the specific hours you may have unintentionally lost today. Wake up tomorrow morning not with a frantic, breathless desire to race through your busy agenda, but with a calm, steady intention to truly inhabit each passing hour. And if this quiet evening reflection brought some measure of true peace to your busy, overloaded mind, please deeply consider hitting the subscribe button and leaving a thoughtful comment below our video. Tell us, in your own honest words, what is exactly one meaningful thing you will actively choose to make deliberate time for tomorrow. Your beautifully shared personal constantly inspire this slowly growing community of mindful readers. Every single week, we will continue to carefully select and deeply unpack the world's most enduring classic literature, offering you a momentary, peaceful refuge of quiet thought in an increasingly loud, chaotic world. We are certainly not just exploring dusty old books. We are slowly, collectively learning how to navigate the complex, beautiful art of living well together. Until our next quiet gathering here, may your coming days feel beautifully long, incredibly steady, and deeply, entirely yours. Rest incredibly well tonight, and please cherish the irreplaceable, finite gift of your remaining time.